Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Atishifa binti Muhammad Swakri. Today, I would like to present a new story about recruitment for female enforcement officers. Why we choose this story? It is because we want to highlight a new employment opportunity for women and reflects USIM's effort to strengthen campus security and safety. It is also a significant development as it promotes female participations in the enforcement and security sector. Besides that, there are many several news value are demonstrated in this story. Firstly, impact as the recruitment affects students, staff, and potential job seekers. Secondly, timeliness is because it resents a recruitment announcement. And lastly, human interest as it focuses on empowering women and creating career opportunities. This story highlight highly relevant to the target audience, especially university students, fresh graduates, and women seeking career opportunities. It is provides useful of information about available jobs and encourages women to explore careers that have traditionally been dominated by men. In addition, the story helps the public to understanding the role of enforcement officer in creating a secure and conducive learning environment. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shifa, for explaining the background of our news story and why this topic was chosen. And now, I would like to continue our presentation by discussing the news gathering process, which focus on how our team collected information and ensured that our stories is balanced, credible, and meaningful. As mentioned earlier, our news story focused on the presence of young female security officers at USIM, a profession that is often associated with men or older individuals. However, at USIM, there are several female security officers aged between 21 to 25 years old, which making this story unique and worthy of attention. So, to ensure that our story is balanced and credible, we gather information from three different perspectives. Firstly, the public, and second, the officer herself, and thirdly, the institution. So firstly, we interviewed a Muslim student to understand the public's perception towards young female security officers. Interestingly, the student expressed a positive view regarding these issues. According to the interviewee, having a female security officer is never a problem at all. In fact, being young is seen as an advantage because young officers are considered energetic, capable, and physically suited to carry out the responsibility required in their professions. This response reflects that society is becoming more open and accepting of women, especially young women working in fields that we are once considered male-dominated professions. And to gain a deeper understanding beyond public perception, we also interviewed Miss Seti, a 25-year-old female security officer at USIM. Through this interview, we explore her motivation for joining the profession, her experiences as a young female officer, and the challenges she faces while carrying out her duties. So, from her response, we learned that being a security officer is not solely about physical strength. It also requires a discipline, commitment, confidence, and a strong sense of responsibility. Her experience demonstrated that women are equally capable of serving in this profession and contributing effectively to campus security. And lastly, to further strengthen our story from an institutional perspective, we interviewed Mr. Sharul, the Director of Security at USIM. We asked him about the recruitment criteria for security officers and the measures taken by the university to ensure the safety and welfare of female officers. Mr. Sharul explained that the recruitment process is based on qualifications, disciplines, and capability rather than gender. He also emphasized that USIM provides equal opportunities and safe working environment for both male and female officers. So, throughout this news gathering process, we face several challenges, particularly in arranging interview sessions according to the interviewee's schedule and ensuring that our questions remain objective and respectful when discussing gender roles and perception in security professions. Nevertheless, the cooperation from all interviewees and the teamwork among our group members enable us to collect valuable information and present this issue from different perspectives. That's all from me, and now I would like to invite Ainul Howard to present next part. Bye!
Okay, move on to part C of our presentation. Let's discuss our editorial decision. When we first approached the topic of young female security guards, we realized there were a few different ways we could frame the narrative. We could have a gun with a purely statistical angle or focus entirely on the corporate recruitment side. However, we felt those approaches would be too detached. Instead, We deliberately choose to look at this trend through the lens of the social stereotypes and safety challenges they face daily. We felt this specific angle was crucial because it allowed us to move the conversation past just seeing more women in uniform. It gave us the framework to actually dissect what it's like for a young woman to navigate and command authority in heavily male dominated industry. By focusing on this angle, our goal was to challenge the audience's underlying biases regarding gender roles in modern blue collar employment. Okay, now, an angle is only as strong as the visual supporting it, which brings us to our selection of footage. In broadcast news, your visuals shouldn't just repeat what the script is saying. They need to add emotional and contextual weight. Because of this, we actively avoided generic filler clips. Instead, we intentionally capture just the posing shots on our subjects. On one hand, you see them in their sharp formal uniforms, but on the other hand, we contrast that with the heavy physical demands of their day-to-day work, such as managing vehicle inspection at the main gates or conducting field patrols around the campus checkpoints. This visual contrast instantly proves to the viewer that these women possess the grade required for the role, regardless of gender. So, during our interviews, we strictly utilized medium close-up shots. We wanted the audience to see the raw facial expressions and body language of these young women as they shared their life experiences. By doing this, we were able to ensure that our visual storytelling was both engaging and ethically responsible.
Thank you to my teammate for the explanation. Now for the part C, is editorial decision. My role was to manage the scriptwriting approach. The process began by gathering reference material from the interview recording and B-roll footage. I also utilized Gemini's assistant to refine and polish the script for a better presentation. Based on this, I structured the storyline in a logical chronology, moving from the main gate to the residential college. When writing the script, the main focus was to ensure our news anchor's delivery was smooth. I used short and clear sentences so the anchor could speak clearly and avoid stuttering. Each paragraph was also synchronized with visual cues so the audio matches the B-roll perfectly. In terms of ethics, we protected the respondent's privacy and ensure factual accuracy without any speculation or bias. In conclusion, this ethical writing approach maintains our video's credibility. Next, my other friends will continue this presentation. Thank you.
Moving into section D, our production reflection. To execute this 5 to 7 minutes news broadcast, we operated strictly like a professional, functional newsroom, dividing our responsibilities based on specialized journalistic and technical roles. Our news anchors took charge of on-camera presence, ensuring maximum clarity and professionalism during the introduction and closing segments. Meanwhile, our field reporter managed the narrative flow on the ground and conducted our critical interview segments. Behind the camera, our production team handled the technical execution, managing the framing, lighting, stable B-roll capture, and high-quality audio recording, while our editing lead integrated the visual storytelling, balanced the audio tracks, and implemented professional lower thirds and captions. Our production process was executed across 3 highly coordinated phases. In pre-production, we map out a meticulous news script and shortlist to bridge the anchor segments seamlessly with the reporter package. During production, our absolute priority was visual and audio consistency. We utilized stable camera angles for B-roll and dedicated external microphones to capture pristine audio for our reporter and our 3 primary interview sources, minimizing background noise. Finally, in post-production, we focus on pacing and strict journalistic presentation. We ensured the transition between the audio anchor and the field package was flawless, and we engineered clean, legible lower thirds and captions to elevate the broadcast overall production value and aesthetic. Of course, a realistic newsroom environment presents a real-world challenges. We encountered tight coordination windows with our interviewees and unexpected acoustic challenges during outdoor reporting. However, this pushes us to adapt quickly by setting up secondary audio backups and optimizing our editing workflow. The ultimate lesson learned was the value of technical foresight, specifically allocating strict buffer time for audio troubleshooting and color grading in post-production. This experience didn't just teach us how to make a video, it taught us how to defend our editorial and technical decisions under professional scrutiny. Thank you, and we are now open to floor to any question from the lecturer.
To wrap up our presentation, diving into the world of female enforcement officers wasn't just about uncovering an inspiring story. It was a massive learning curve for our entire team. First and foremost, this assignment pushed us to develop crucial news production skills. We did not just write a report, we had to think like real journalists, such as learning how to structure a compelling narrative, script for broadcast, and understand the technical flow of a news package. Of course, bringing this all together came with its fair share of teamwork challenges, coordinating schedules, balancing different creative visions, and ensuring our tone remained both professional and impactful took a lot of effort. We quickly realized that effective communication isn't just about talking but actively listening to each other to keep the project moving forward. But perhaps our greatest takeaway was the hands-on experience of investigative reporting. Gathering the right information meant reaching out to multiple sources and interviewing the right people, from the enforcement officers themselves to industry experts, to ensure our story was accurate and authentic. On top of that, we had to hunt down and piece together relevant B-roll and clips, news visually engaging. It taught us that a great news story isn't just told, it's meticulously built from the ground up. In conclusion, highlighting the vital role of women in enforcement opened our eyes to their dedication, while the process itself gave us a profound respect for the gift it takes to produce a quality video. That's all from us. Thank you.